Well, first up this evening to that row over the 400-acre Kancha Gachibowli land parcel in Hyderabad. The Telangana government today moved the High Court seeking action against those using artificial intelligence-generated content to spread fake news and disinformation about the land and its environment. The petition comes in the backdrop of Chief Minister Revant Reddy accusing several BJP, BRS leaders, including Union Minister Kishan Reddy, and even some leading Bollywood actors like Bollywood stars Diya Mirza and John Abraham of sharing AI-generated videos and photos to spread disinformation about the environmental impact on the 400-acre land parcel. However, celebrities like Diya Mirza have categorically denied sharing any such social media post with fake content and hit back at Chief Minister Revant Reddy. Remember, the dispute over the land where the state government wants to build an IT park has reached the apex court as well, with opposition parties in the state and environmentalists arguing that it would cause enormous damage to the ecology of that fragile region. Listening to some of the reactions. Joins me live at the moment. Uma, thanks very much for joining us here on the Southern View this evening. Give us a sense of what kind of disinformation the state government is talking about. How prevalent is it, and is it an issue that's being raised by the state government to divert attention from the kind of protests that one has seen around that land parcel?
So the Telangana government was certainly pushed on the back foot with the scathing kind of remarks made by the Supreme Court on this issue, and saying that the government seems to be in a kind of a hurry to do this, and also asking whether they got all the requisite permissions. Having said that, the state government is now fighting back, should I say, trying to seize the narrative and talking about the AI images, video as well as audio that has been used, what they say, in order to create a false narrative that they say was obstructing governance and trying to create anxiety and societal tension as well. And all these are the allegations that they are making against specific people, including, like you mentioned, Union Minister Mr. Kishan Reddy, whose tweet they have shared, in which he has shown that AI-generated image of some deer as well as peacocks. It looks as though they're running helter-skelter while JCBs are in the background, and this is an AI-generated image, and they say this is disinformation once again. And then there is another image of a dead deer, which a BRS spokesperson had in fact shared, and many students, of course, had also shared this. And he had said that this is the first casualty of the JCB drive. There was a third one in which they said a deer had come out of the so-called Kancha Gachibowli forest area to a nearby colony, whereas that is not even a deer, it's a sambar. And it is not found in this area at all, but they shared that visual as though it was coming out seeking water and food outside in the colonies that are nearby, and that was also declared as a fake image. And then they have listed out many numbers of people who have in fact shared or amplified this particular image, all of which they are calling as a fake narrative that is sought to be created. And therefore the Telangana government, in a sense, should I take, is taking a higher ground, not talking about the merits of this particular case, what the Supreme Court has said or what the High Court registrar said in his report, but talking about the attempt to create what they say a false narrative in this entire issue of the government trying to develop a piece of land that it calls its own and says that they want to auction it. Back to you, Veera.
Right, thanks very much, Uma, for just giving us an overview of the kind of issues that's being faced there. But so using artificial intelligence for disinformation campaigns isn't a new issue. It's a global issue of concern. But is the Telangana government combating fake narratives, or is it caught on the wrong foot as far as this controversy is concerned and using this as a diversionary tactic? Joining me this evening, Kumbam Srinivasa Reddy of the Congress Party, Ravula Sridhar Reddy of the BRS, NV Subhash of the BJP, and also Professor Sanjeev Singh, social media expert, author at the Bennett University in New Delhi. My first question to you, Mr. Kumbam Srinivasa Reddy, while disinformation is an issue, taking it up now, is it trying to distract from the real issue where the government of Telangana seems to be caught on the wrong foot, with even the apex court sending in strong observations? Your first response.
Good evening, Veera. First of all, we are not talking about the issue which is in the court right now because it is sub judice, and we would not like to go into the merits of that case per se. But having said so, we would also like to state some facts, because what is happening is, because of the misconstrued information or the AI generated photographs, and there is some political accountability to this government also. We are trying to do something, and because of misinformed or fake news which is being circulated, they are trying to create an opinion among the general public that something is wrong, which ultimately leads to the public losing trust in the governance, which is something we would like to take head on, because this sort of thing has to be curbed, not only in this issue, but definitely tomorrow in some other issue also it might come up. So definitely we are going to the Telangana government is very firm that it is not going to entertain all fake news or AI generated videographs or photographs, whatever it is. It could be in any issue. This is only this is the issue right now which we are taking up, but this is government is accountable, and it can be in any issue, and so we need to take it up. And dissent and debate.
You're saying that you are flagging.
Pardon?
You're saying you're flagging an issue rather than just this incident. Ravula Sridhar Reddy, disinformation part of the propaganda campaign as far as this land row is concerned, says the Congress.
Now, who is to confirm this, sir? It's a misinformation. The government would have come to a conclusion that it's a misinformation, but at the end of the day, this looks like a revenge, rather retaliatory action from the government out of frustration, because they had to stall the entire activity. Now, the Honorable Supreme Court has intervened and told the government to stop entire activity. Initially, they wanted to go to the court for asking them to go for an inquiry. Now they started filing the cases. Now, where the issue has actually started, they are forgetting the grassroots. They are trying, they are actually failing to identify the grassroots of the entire issue. You unilaterally have taken a decision to rather fell the trees, clean up the entire area, to auction it. It's a lung space which is there in the center of the city, 400 acres. There's a flora and fauna. You're trying to disturb the entire vegetation there, biodiversity there, and the government should be the protector of all these. Instead, you are trying to do a different activity where general public, civil society, the students of the university which is there beside, and the political parties like us, we have voiced the concern of the people. Now you had to stop because the court has got intervened. Now why these cases and all that? So this is a kind of a revenge, rather intimidation activity.
Okay.
These kind of tactics are not going to work out. End of the day, each one of us who have voiced out the concern for the welfare of this particular area, rather than to protect.
All right, point taken. But NV Subhash, isn't it true that several propaganda machineries use artificial intelligence generated fake pictures and videos to spread disinformation? The Telangana government seems to have pointed out specific instances that have been shared, which it says are fake content and disinformation that's been spread using artificial intelligence.
It is very, very clear that the Telangana government is now trying to divert the attention of the people because they failed in almost in all subjects on that. The whole entire media, the national media, the state media, the local media, including the international media, was there when this whole area has been disturbed by the JCBs and all this. And there is flora, there is there is the wild deers are there. There are some the species, the rare species also, which has been found, which has been really taken by the media itself. How can the Revant Reddy's government say that it has been created by artificial intelligence or that? In fact, when Amit Shah was in campaigning in in Telangana earlier in the assembly elections, he never said that once a Modi government comes for the third time, the reservations issues will be taken out. The reservation will be taken out. It is Revant Reddy's government who has made a fake video, and then it has the circulated on that. It is very clear. So this is the very clear the attempt to divert attention, because he failed in almost in all subjects on that, whether it is Hydra, whether it is Pharma City, whether it is Lagacharla land where he wants to construct to take the scheduled tribes land, and then wanted to construct so many other the buildings over there. We, Bharatiya Janata Party, we really claims on that when there is so much of
Okay.
land available elsewhere in the state where it is being defunct, the earlier government has constructed IT parks, IT, the shopping complexes in the just other parts of the city where it is vacant. Why do you really consider about the 400 acres which is adjacent to Hyderabad Central University? We are not talking about the dispute of
Okay.
the just ownership of the land, but there is so much of the land space. So many other
Okay.
things, activities can be done on that. There is an eye on this with the particular land in previous government also, like when the Congress government was in power from 2004 to 2014. So incidentally, it has gone to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Now
So,
they have got opportunity to take this land. This is giving
all right,
to some the builders in Delhi.
All right, you're making an important point. We'll get to that part of the discussion on what the core issue is and whether this is just a peripheral issue. But Dr. Sanjeev Singh, you've worked very closely on how social media is used. In fact, you've authored a book on how social media is used by political parties in their campaign. Has disinformation, whether it is the Congress, whether it is the BJP, whether it is the BRS, has disinformation become part of a toolkit when it comes to protests and contentious issues like this? And is the damage done much before one can fact check and repair what's happened?
Thank you, Veera. I think you answered the question yourself that misinformation is a part of our lives now, and any government which is in power or working on any initiative, they need to factor this in, because if you look at a state like Telangana, which prides itself on IT parks and being one of the leaders in the IT field, to talk about artificial intelligence as a problem shows the dichotomy of a state which prides itself and yet says that AI is a problem. So, we've got to learn to live with technology. And it can be a double-edged sword, but it also means that it can work the other way. So, I think governments just need to start, working more, take initiative and work more closely with the industry and make sure that these kind of misinformation campaigns can be nipped in the bud right from the start. And as you said, that, when a campaign takes off, it actually takes many weeks in the making. So, this is not something which has happened overnight. A lot of work has gone into it. And that said, also gives the government enough time to be able to take action if they're working closely with the industry. So, AI can be used in both ways. Unfortunately, right now, the initiative taken is more by the mischief mongers. If the government, takes up this issue, then I feel that they can effectively counter, this threat, especially related to misinformation and deepfakes. And we've seen industry like Google, etc., come up and, walk the talk as far as misinformation is concerned.
Okay, you're saying that the government can combat it. Kumbam Srinivasa Reddy, I'm going to come to the core issue here. Again, repeating that same question that I started with, is this more of the distraction and not the core issue, A? And B, some of the celebrities that the Chief Minister had alleged had spread these fake videos, allegedly fake videos, have categorically denied that. So, does the Chief Minister also need a fact check, sir?
First of all, let me clarify that there is nothing like a vendetta or anything which is going on here. We are also not going against anyone who has not circulated any of these fake videos. Only if they have circulated the fake videos, they need to be answerable. That's a second point. Then the main point here is we are living in a democracy, and here there is everybody has got the right to give their opinion, but not distorting opinions by opinions based on wrong information or wrong photographs or something. When we are in a democracy, fair debate is definitely acceptable for everyone. But when you're trying to, create an opinion based on some distorted or misinformed photographs, what happens is it creates an image in the mindset of the people that this is what is happening, and the total opinion itself changes on what's happening over there. So definitely we are not going to sit quiet on this issue, but definitely it is not a vendetta also. Kindly take it, I'm stressing on it. No vendetta going on, because earlier also, as Sri Subhash ji was saying, that was if some misdeed had happened, definitely there was a case and there were arrests in that issue. Then why should it not happen now? Were the people who
We have already filed a case.
as
Mr. Subhash,
BJP
respond.
has said that there was some issue when Amit Shah ji had spoken here. At that
We
point
have
in time,
already
if I
filed a
remember
case
properly,
against
there was
Revanth
a case,
Reddy.
they were arrested, and that case is
Yeah,
going
we
on.
have already filed a
Similarly, we
case
should
Let
in the
also
Mr.
High
be.
Court
Subhash
here.
respond.
Yeah,
Let
we have
Mr.
already
Subhash
filed a
respond.
case because we have already filed a case against Revanth Reddy because he has circulated the fake video saying that when Modi comes, the reservations will be they're taken out. It's a national the issue. How can you say that? And we have already filed a case. The case is going on in the High Court in that. But blaming exclusively on artificial intelligence as if nothing happened in Hyderabad Central University, which is not right. We are also concerned. We are also the responsible citizens of of this country, and the Home Ministry has a cyber security system also. They have a whole department on that. So definitely, artificial intelligence cannot be used for disturbing. It can be used for security purposes. It can be used for the disturbance purposes also by the mischief people. But we have to take it into account on that. But exclusively blaming on
Ravula,
artificial intelligence, it is not correct. They had an eye on this
point
400
taken.
acres on that. Yeah.
No, point taken. You're saying that exclusively blaming only on this fake videos is not the core issue. Ravula Sridhar Reddy, the Congress says there is no vendetta. Instead, it argues that there is a BRS vendetta against trying to stop any development project in Hyderabad.
No, we are not against development. We are not against allocating the lands to any companies that you wanted to bring in Hyderabad. But why only these 400 acres? You have a lot of land available around Hyderabad, in whichever direction you wanted to go. The infrastructure is already well developed there. Even for other companies, you have more than 165 industrial parks, identified in the past. So we have enough infrastructure. Why only these 400 acres? You wanted to cut down the trees. You want to, disturb the vegetation, and you wanted to file the cases on the activists. Yes, if AI has been used, if they would have anybody generated fake videos and all, if you confirm it, the law will take its own course. We are not for it, but intentionally, targetively, selectively targeting people and filing cases. And even on the activists on the other day, they were beaten, thrashed, and dragged. Even the FIR says something else. These intimidation tactics are not going to work out. You are the government. You are supposed to maintain some restraints, while dealing with these kind of issues. This is a social issue, not any personal.
All three of you have made your points. I have the last 30 seconds. Dr. Sanjeev Singh, final question to you. Very, very brief answer. More and more the reality. However, as far as this case is concerned, this may not be the core issue. The core issue could well be the dispute that is actually playing out on the ground there in Hyderabad.
As per the annual State of Education report, in Telangana, there is about 74% availability of computers in government schools. But internet connectivity is not there in 78% of those schools. So you have the infrastructure, but you don't have internet connectivity. I think that sums up the problem in Telangana. If you are creating a new, asset infrastructure, which is very close to the university, you just need to take the relevant stakeholders into account and convince them that this is the best thing for them, and then they will be your advocates. So I think it's as simple as that, to sum it up.
Right. Thanks very much there to all four of you for joining me this evening. We'll keep a close watch on that issue that's playing out there in Hyderabad.